Tonight, we plunge nearly 300 feet beneath the cold, dark surface of the Baltic Sea, where a single blurry image sparked a mystery so compelling it was dubbed the Roswell of the ocean. This is the story of the Baltic Sea Anomaly. Our story begins in June 2011, not with NASA scientists, but with a commercial salvage crew called OceanX. Led by Swedish explorers Peter Lindberg and Dennis Osberg, their stated mission was simple: hunt for valuable lost artifacts, antique high-end alcoholic beverages, and maybe even missing Fabergé eggs. They were treasure hunters. They were on a routine expedition, scanning the floor of the northern Baltic Sea in the center of the Gulf of Bothnia at a depth of 85 to 90 meters. That's about 279 to 295 feet. After a long 9-day trip, they were making one final run with a sonar fish before heading home, when suddenly an image appeared on their screen. The image was indistinct and blurry, but interesting. But what it showed was highly unusual. A massive circular object reported to be approximately 60 meters or 200 feet in diameter. It looked too perfectly shaped to be natural. The team immediately suggested they had found an object with unusual features of seemingly non-natural origin. The media didn't wait for confirmation. Tabloid newspapers immediately seized on the ambiguous data, publishing rampant speculation that the object was a sunken UFO. Thanks to its striking, rigid, circular shape, the anomaly quickly earned a powerful pop culture nickname. It was the Millennium Falcon of the deep. The ambiguity of that initial blurry sonar image was not a barrier to the story. It was the essential ingredient. A clear image might have resulted in a swift identification, but the low-resolution data created a blank slate onto which a decade of theories could be projected. For the OceanX team, the mystery was a prerequisite for securing funding and publicity for a return expedition. In 2012, they returned to the site, launching divers and a remotely operated vehicle. It was this second trip that provided the narrative-laden evidence that fueled the global mystery. The first sensational claim involved the object's surrounding geography. The circular object was not isolated. It appeared to sit at the end of a long, straight path, a 300-meter flattened runway carved into the seabed. This feature, the team claimed, strongly implied a crash landing. Some reports even extended this trace to 1,500 meters. Next came the architectural claims. Divers reported seeing features that suggested construction. Diver Stefan Hogeborn, a 20-year veteran, claimed to have seen something that looks like a staircase with steps about 1 meter high. Other reports described hard parallel edges, construction lines and boxes drawn on the object, and multiple 90-degree angles in what they called rectangle corridors. They also claimed to have found holes on the top, including a 2-meter hole with a square built around it. The object was also described as rising up to 4 meters from the seabed, giving it a mushroom-like appearance. But perhaps the most powerful claim, the one that elevated the story from a curiosity to an X-file, was the reported technological interference. The OceanX team alleged that when their boat was positioned directly over the anomaly, everything electric stopped working. This blackout allegedly affected their satellite phone and caused camera dropouts. They claimed the equipment only started working again once the boat was moved a certain distance away. This dead zone served a crucial purpose. It implied an active, unknown energy source, and it provided a convenient excuse for any lack of high-quality data. When critics asked why they failed to produce clear scans, the answer was that their equipment mysteriously failed. Curiously, however, this interference didn't prevent the divers from returning to film a 60-minute documentary. Adding to the intrigue, one team member, Dennis Osberg, later claimed that during their 2012 investigations, 6 NATO ships were in the immediate vicinity. He even reported that military officials met them upon return to port and forced them to hand over all data to the Swedish military. This immediately implied a government cover-up, deepening the marketability of their secret story.
The extraordinary claims provided by the OceanX team created a perfect vacuum for speculation, offering a menu of mysteries tailored for every interest group. First, the extraterrestrial origin. This was the most popular theory, stemming directly from the initial sunken UFO headlines and the object's resemblance to a crashed spaceship. The circular shape, the 300-meter crash landing strip, the alleged burnt surface, and the electrical interference were all used as supporting evidence of non-human technology. Second, the World War II relic theory. Given the Baltic Sea was a significant theater of naval operations, proponents speculated the object could be a sunken German anti-submarine device, a remnant of a battleship turret, or, most sensationally, the entrance to a secret Nazi U-boat bunker. Third, the favorite for our channel, the ancient civilization hypothesis. This theory suggests the object was an artificial structure from a time before the Baltic Sea flooded. The anomaly rests at a depth of 80 to 90 meters, and during the last ice age, the site would have been dry land. Peter Lindbergh himself suggested it could be the remains of the lost city of Atlantis. The alleged stair-like formations, construction lines, and 90-degree angles were cited as proof of this ancient ingenuity. But as the mystery persisted, critics began to look at the motive. Jonathan Hill, a prominent skeptic, suggested it's always wise to consider whether those making extraordinary claims are personally benefiting from the claim. The potential financial incentive was clear. OceanX had formalized a partnership with entertainment producers to create documentary films and TV series. Critics noted that the company even had plans to take wealthy tourists in a submarine to visit the site. A weird rock is not a profitable media product. A sunken UFO is. This context suggested a powerful commercial incentive to sustain the mystery rather than solve it. While media outlets continued to fuel the mystery as enduring and unsolved, the scientific community moved toward a simple, unified, and geological explanation. A consensus of experts and scientists say the image most likely shows a natural geological formation. The first pillar of the mystery to fall was the material evidence. Rock samples were provided to Volker Bruchert, an associate professor of geology at Stockholm University. His analysis was conclusive. The samples consisted of granites, gneisses, and sandstones, precisely the rock types you'd expect in a glacial basin like the Baltic Sea. The one strange piece of basaltic or volcanic rock was identified as a glacial erratic, a rock plucked from its original source by a glacier, transported for hundreds of miles, and then dropped onto the seafloor when the ice melted. The second debunked pillar was the object's shape. The most convincing geological explanation is that the anomaly is a drumlin, or part of a drumlin field. A drumlin is a streamlined, elongated hill of glacial deposits. The alleged runway or track is simply a glacial striation or moraine, a mass of rocks and sediment deposited by the moving ice sheets. The entire northern Baltic region is heavily influenced by glacial thawing processes. Furthermore, the supposed staircase and 90-degree angles are almost certainly misinterpretations of natural fractured rock known as jointing or bedding planes. But the most significant point of deception, however, lay in the visual evidence itself. The widely circulated Shorp Millennium Falcon-shaped image that captured the public's imagination is not a photograph or a real sonar scan. It is an artist's rendering. The public was reacting to a piece of marketing, not to real data. Sonar experts confirmed that the actual image is blurry and of low resolution, attributing the distortions to cheap and inaccurate sonar instruments that were improperly wired and calibrated. The entire mystery, according to critics, was not a geological anomaly, but a perceptual one, manufactured by substituting a dramatic drawing for the indistinct data.
Despite the overwhelming geological consensus, the Baltic Sea Anomaly remains a subject of public fascination. In the mid-2020s, a new, credible scientific expedition, supported by the Society for UAP Studies, took a deliberately grounded approach to shift the discussion away from speculation. This team used advanced tools like multi-beam sonar, AUVs, and 3D modeling, the hallmarks of serious scientific inquiry. The advanced data finally provided the necessary clarity. The Baltic Sea Anomaly is, indeed, a natural geological formation. Specifically, it is a massive, circular basalt formation, a volcanic rock. Its symmetrical features and near-perfect circularity are due to a unique upwelling of magma that cooled into a dome-like shape, which was then extensively sculpted by glacial erosion and ocean currents. If the mystery is solved, why is the truth worse than we thought? The unsettling truth is what the discovery process revealed about the health of the Baltic Sea itself. The Baltic is a unique, brackish body of water, largely enclosed, making it particularly vulnerable to environmental stress. While the anomaly is a geological marvel, the sophisticated surveys conducted to study it inadvertently revealed alarming issues. The discovery highlights an ocean under siege from human activity, agricultural runoff, and industrial pollution. The biggest threat is eutrophication, which leads to massive algal blooms. When these blooms die and sink, their decomposition consumes oxygen, creating vast dead zones where marine life cannot survive. The fact that such a prominent feature could remain undiscovered and then be so widely misinterpreted speaks volumes about how little we know about our own oceans. Our maps of the seafloor are still less detailed than our maps of the Moon or Mars. The Baltic Sea Anomaly isn't a threat in itself, but it served as a catalyst. Its revelation forces us to confront the fact that even in relatively well-charted waters, vast secrets remain hidden, and the silent, relentless degradation of a vital ecosystem is unfolding beneath our feet. The basalt formation is a silent witness, a monument to our environmental challenges. The mystery of the Great Disk is solved. It was never a crash-landed spaceship, but its true identity is a far more impactful discovery, a stark reminder of the fragile balance of our planet. What are your thoughts on the Baltic Sea Anomaly? Do you find the geological explanation more interesting than the alien theories? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Beyond Known History for more deep dives into the secrets of our past.